are also experiencing other major life changes. And that's what you were
God, man.
answering.
It's God. It's God. Nothing else and no one else. I wouldn't have made it, honestly. I mean, I felt like I lost my mind. There were times when the kids go to school, the house is dark, I don't open curtains, I just stay in my gown. And then I just set the alarm for when it's almost time for them to come home. Then I get up quickly, open the curtains, quickly change, prepare dinner, so that they don't see me in that state. But if I bet if I didn't have the kids during that period of losing my mom, I don't know what I would have done. Because I've experienced death. Even my grandmother passed away. I was very close with her. And I thought, that this is a painful loss. And my mom and I, we were fighting over the years, We'd be close 1 minute and then apart again, disagreeing, because we were very similar. But her death hit me more than any death that I've ever experienced. And I think God is the one who helped me navigate all these losses, I remember I had a job at the time. I was a lecturer at WITS. I was teaching music for fourth year students, and I just couldn't continue with that. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to continue with this. The day of their exam, where we've been working on this huge production, was the day of my mom's memorial service. And the students sent flowers to the house. I couldn't even be a part of that. We've been working 6 months on that production. And I was like, God, what is happening? And I momentarily lost my mind. But I think that God is the one who helped me through it, As much as I didn't pray as much as I would have liked to, but in my heart I was speaking to him. I think in those tears I was speaking to him, and without him I wouldn't have survived. I can't give any formula, I can't give any strategy, I can't give any 5 steps to navigating grief except God. And that's it, really.
That's amazing. Okay, we're almost near the end of my questions. I've just got 2 more for you. The book also touches on finding purpose. What does purpose mean to you now, and how did you rediscover it?
Sure. I think I've always known, in a way, what my purpose is. Sometimes, perhaps not being brave enough to boldly take that step, or feeling unworthy, like not understanding that God, why me? But God would continuously throw me in the deep end, where I'd find myself in this position that I didn't apply for something, and God places me there, and I have to question why, and it's because of purpose. Even the job at WITS, I never applied. I wasn't even qualified. Those kids have more of a qualification than me, the lecturer. But there I found myself being their lecturer, having to put together, and they're like, no, you are the perfect one for the job. I'm like, I remember Fiona Ramsey calling me. I'm like, me, And she called me twice. She called me the first time, and then she called me 6 months later. Like, I called you 6 months ago about this position. And I was like, all the talented people in South Africa, the famous people and the qualified people, why me? And God says you. The platforms I've been given to present, to MC, most of them I don't apply. I get a call. I get a referral. My name gets mentioned in those rooms of opportunities, and the opportunity presents itself to me. And then I'm like, okay, so that is my purpose. Whichever platform that you give me, God, I will go out there and tell my testimony, tell my story, and remind people that they too can be great. I'm not the only one who's created to be great. Everybody has a pulpit wherever God has placed them. You could be a cleaner, you could be a teacher, you could be a stay-at-home mom. That's your pulpit that God has given you to preach, to share your story, to bring that hope and that healing to the people around you. And I think with every chapter in my life, with every season in my life, God just keeps reaffirming, God just keeps reminding to say, listen, I told you this years back. I got a prophecy when I was very, very young, and they said, you have 5 gifts, you're going to use all of them. And by that time, I'm the black sheep of the family. I'm thinking, oh, like you're the Moses of the family, you're going to lead your family, to the promised land. It didn't make sense. I'm the black sheep. Everybody's at home studying. Me, I'm gallivanting in the streets, and I get this test, and I get this prophecy, which didn't make sense. Only years later, more than 8 years later, God is like, He's faithful to His word. His word never changes. So I just believe that, listen, everybody has a purpose, and God will keep reminding you in small little ways, different ways, people around you, circumstances, and He'll keep showing you what your purpose is.